Jai Baba. Nothing is real but God. Nothing matters but love for God. God is the only reality. All else that seems real is illusory. God and I are one. Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Thanks to beloved Baba and Jai Baba to all of you. I received quite a few requests asking me to repeat the last chapter which we did without the so-called video on. So I have agreed to do that. We have agreed to do that. And today is the Dhuni day. So our dear Rakesh Acharya has very magnanimously agreed to show us the live Dhuni from 6:15 or 6:20 onwards. So we will try to complete our session by 6:15, 6:20, so that people don't have to leave this forum to go and join the Dhuni. They can as well enjoy the live Dhuni on this screen itself. So thank you, Rakesh. All right. Now this we are repeating. So I won't be repeating everything because we have to contain it in 15 minutes short time. I will only emphasize or maybe focus on what Baba has to say on the Baba part of the story and not the author's part of the story. The chapter is, okay, go ahead.
Page 17. Ego, the ingrained disease. After having tea and biscuits, I was ready for my weekly late afternoon stroll. Catching a bus, I got down on the outskirts of town and walked to my favorite tree-lined lane, a long, secluded path winding along the base.
Sham Sundarji, can you please mute your mic? There's a noise coming from. Please, thank you. Go ahead.
Of the hills. I loved that stroll, seeing branches woven into one another, forming a verdant canopy. It was wonderful how each tree adjusted itself to the others, none disturbing another's growth and grace. The trunks of the trees stood poised, supporting and sustaining the entire network of branches. It appeared to be an arbor of loving friendship.
In other words, sorry, I know. What I would interpret this as, we need to be strong and firm and poised in our principles, but we need to be very flexible and adjusting in anything other than the principles, rather than sticking on to our own point of view or ego. And Baba says that how the trees are adjusting itself, there's no complaint, oh, you are coming in my territory and you are, encroaching on my property kind of a thing. They are adjusting itself. And we need to learn from that in our life also, we need to be adjusting.
The sparkling leaves, colored in various shades of green, brought to me the message of oneness in manyness. Some leaves were long and coarse, others small and tender. A few were large and yellowish, a bit dry and happily withering, resigning themselves to the flow of the seasons and relaying your message to accept life joyously in all its phases. It was a lovely sight.
Again here, what Baba talks about unity in diversity. We are all one. At the core level, we are all one. At the superfluous level, we are different. And we are different because of the, as I use the word, because of the samskaric patterns being different. The electrical charge or the electricity is one, but because they are wired differently, the different instruments of electricity, like whatever you call it, electricity, like bulbs or tube lights or fans or microwaves or televisions or whatever it is, they work differently, they function differently, but the core aspect of it is electricity, which is power. So in the same way, the core aspect of each one of us is nothing but Baba, Baba, Baba. We may behave differently, but basically at the core level, we are one. So here the emphasis is on oneness in manyness, which is unity in diversity. And also here another beautiful, your message to accept life joyously in all its phases. It was a lovely sight. Many times, we talk about Meher Baba as, what they call awesome, rock star, my beloved and eternal beloved and stuff like that. Very good. But only when the things are going right, we say this. But when the things don't go as we want it to go, at that time, that is the time when we are expected to accept everything as coming from Baba and keep holding on to his Dhamma.
When the wind blew, the leaves rustled as though singing a song of glory to the earth, sky, and sun. As I walked, I appreciated the sight of nature, its parts interwoven in a vision of harmony. Suddenly, a thought crossed my mind. Where might you be now, the center of all this life? I continued walking, and after a little distance, to my amazement, I saw you sitting on a bench in silence, as though deeply absorbed in your own infinite self. Your magnificent figure embodied such gentleness, and your radiance permeated everything as far as my eyes could see. I hesitated to approach you, but my heart nudged me to sit down beside you. Not acknowledging my arrival, you remained undisturbed. A hushed tranquility reigned in the air and filled me. Though close, I felt you were many light years away from me. You exuded such perfect detachment, but I could no longer take in the quietness. So I softly said, "Look, I'm here." Flashing a gentle smile from the depths of your eyes, you softly replied, "Yes, and I'm here and everywhere too. But now, can we converse?" I implored. "If you wish, I won't mind," you responded and inquired, "How are you keeping?" "I am fine, thank you." "Is it really so?" you said, probing more deeply. "Yes, I think so," I answered, wondering why you repeated the question. I continued, "I'm quite well, I'm sleeping well, and eating well too," you teased. But then you added, "All this does not mean that you are healthy."
Baba had this habit of poking or delving deep into anybody or any question. When Baba was in the physical ministry, the Mandli would say that if Baba repeated a question 2 times or 3 times, it means there's some depth in what he's asking. He would not let you go. And another way of Baba's behavior would be that he would, in a sense, he would prick you and ask you a question, and you say, "Oh my God, now what do I answer?" And then Baba's attention would be drawn somewhere else, and you will say, thank God, thank Baba. He's not pursuing. But again, he will go and come around and ask the same question till we are very honest about our reply. In so many talks about Bauji, you will find this particular pattern of Baba. Baba would ask Bauji, "What are you thinking?" And Bauji would say, "No, nothing." Baba would let go. Then again, he would go around and say, "No, but tell me, what were you thinking?" "No, nothing particular, Baba." "Okay, not particular, but what were you thinking?" Generally, something like that. And then ultimately, Baba would take the cat out of the bag, something like that. So that was again his human pattern of getting the things out of us, obviously for our own benefit. So here he's saying the same thing. He's going around the mulberry bush in asking, "How are you? Did you sleep well? Did you eat well? Did you do this?" And then the word comes health. And he said, "Oh, I'm quite healthy." And then now Baba is giving a discourse on what real health means.
Then what do you mean?" I asked with a puzzled look. "Do you want me to be like a champion athlete before I can call myself healthy? Being a good wrestler or a top player of any sport is not necessarily a sign of real health," you remarked. "Such persons can be regarded as physically healthy, but real health lies in a harmonious balance of body, mind, and heart, our actions, thoughts, and feelings. This equilibrium opens a way to being healthy in its true sense. Do you understand?"
In other words, real healthiness is not just physical health, but physical, emotional, mental health. Physical health in terms of actions, mental health in terms of thought processes, and emotions and feelings health in terms of heart. So they should all be in harmony. Then Baba says that is real health.
A bit, but isn't real health dependent upon one's physical health? I asked, trying to clarify. Yes, you replied, yes, but not entirely. In certain cases, it can be regarded as the visible tip of the iceberg.
That means the so-called physically healthy with big muscles and very healthy body is just a tip of the iceberg. We all know iceberg 1/10 is only showing above the water, the 9/10 is below. So that is not the real sign of good health. Good health would mean, that all over you are healthy in terms of physique, in terms of mind, in terms of heart, which is feelings.
But mostly, your outer physical health is directed and even governed by your innermost desires and the extent to which they are satisfied. When you become conscious of just how binding desires are, that awareness alone will automatically begin to adjust your actions. You will try to withdraw yourself from certain desires once you know that indulging in them is not healthy. When you learn that fire burns your fingers, very naturally you draw back your hand from it. Isn't that so? Life's truths are as direct as that.
In other words, we have done it earlier that Baba's emphasis was on desirelessness or cutting down the desires, because desires are the binding blocks. They are the building blocks of reincarnation. Desires are like hooks which keep us bound and slaves to our own samskaras. And therefore, your Baba says very beautifully is the moment we are aware and conscious that we are governed by the desires, that we are slaves of the desires, that we are bound by our desires, that these desires do not serve us, but they are of disservice to us, then that very awareness makes us let go of those desires which are not of service to us, which are of disservice to us, and gradually we then progress further. So that is what Baba is trying to say.
Your simple, straightforward statements gave me a deeper understanding of what you convey. Finding me receptive to your words, you continue. To further cultivate real health, you must learn about your worst enemy, which is the ingrained disease. There was a blank look on my face. Ingrained disease? What is that? It is hard to define this disease exactly. People don't know that everyone is suffering from it. That is why I call it ingrained. And moreover, people feel proud of the behaviors which, ironically, are a manifestation of the disease itself. You explained. Excuse me, but this is still confusing, I admit it. All right, I will give you a few instances which will help you to know the nature of it. For example, you take delight in exposing the weaknesses of others, especially in their absence. Sometimes you pass sly remarks to make fun of certain individuals in order to assert your superiority. Or, just to be polite, you greet your acquaintances with a smile, and then, as soon as they leave, you make fun of them. All these are symptoms of the ingrained disease that arise out of the false idea that you have a separate, special identity. This is your ego, trying to hold on to some I-ness out of the fear of being nothing.
If you look at Baba's philosophy, basically he talks about love, he talks about selfless service, and he talks about unity of all life, unity, all are one. So here, this disease, what Baba calls, is an ingrained, innate disease. It comes with the packaging, the moment our consciousness started, it is there, it is ingrained. And it is so difficult to get rid of it. And Baba calls it, and we all know, he calls it an ego. And I had last time explained that egos are of three types. Ego actually is a real thing. Ego is equal to existence. Ego is the truth. Ego is the reality. But that is the real ego we are talking about. Originally, it started with the original ego or the first ego where I am, but the consciousness that I am is not there. We talk about that ego in the Paratpar Parbrahma state. And right from the start of creation, that particular ego became what is known as the false ego. And that false ego continues in the evolutionary stage, in the reincarnation stage, in the involutionary stage, till the last fag of the journey, which is Peer or the sixth plane consciousness person. Till that time, the false ego is there. And then the ego is never to be annihilated. It cannot be annihilated because it is real. The ego has to be transformed. It has to be transformed from false ego to the real ego. And it is so ingrained that the best part is we do not even know that while we are doing whatever we are doing, while we are speaking whatever we are speaking, while we are feeling whatever we are feeling, while we are thinking what we are thinking, we are simply feeding that false ego, the disease. We are increasing the disease. Why? Because we do all this from the platform of I am separate from the whole. I suppose I am able to convey. Now that's a disease, that the moment I feel I am separate from the whole and I do anything, think, feel, speak, act, I am increasing the disease. I am increasing my samskaras. And that is why Baba time and time and time again has given us a key, a very, very beautiful key, which we tend to leave somewhere here and there and then go in search of it. We find it again, we lose it. We find it again. And what is that key? I am not the doer. It is Baba who is doing through me, through us. It is Baba who is getting it done through me. I am not attached with the result. I am not the doer. I have not done. I am not doing. I am not going to do. It is Baba who is doing. And Baba says with certainty that if we continue to do this, I am not the doer, then by and by our past samskaras get exhausted, eliminated, and fresh samskaras are not taken on because I am not the doer, and over a period of time we'll be able to really so-called walk the spiritual path and even reach mukti or whatever, salvation. So that is the key which Baba has given, and even the seers of the past have said the same thing, that where the agent of action is other than the limited, false, separative, egocentric I, then those actions do not bind. It is as simple as that, and yet found to be Herculean, found to be almost impossible for us to inculcate within us. So that is, now Baba has given such, what should I say, such ground level examples. We backbite, we slander, we judge people, we assess people, we talk ill about persons, we smile when they are there, and the moment their backs are turned, we ridicule them, Isn't it exactly what we are doing? So Baba has said that these are the very things which are feeding your false ego. So let go of all these things, all these habits, just shun it. Why? Because they bind you all the more. They increase your ego. They increase your disease of separateness. So very beautifully, as I said, down to earth, what we are actually accustomed to doing, Baba says, just do away with all these things, and automatically over a period of time, you will realize that you are forwarding yourself in the path.
You went on. The disease dwells deep within you, and yet you're not fully conscious of it. In fact, you continue to nurture it through your thoughts and actions until it begins to dominate you. Generally, you sit in judgment over what others say and do. You regard this as your right and feel that there is nothing wrong in it. But in doing so, you deny others the freedom to respond to life as they choose.
Everyone has a freedom to respond to life as they choose. And everyone generally, by and large, will choose what their karmas, past karmas, will want them to choose. There are very few people who, in spite of having past karma, would pause and take a decision or make a choice which is spiritually beneficial and then do away with the pathway which the past karmas have already formed. Yeah, correct. So beautifully Baba is saying, we had done this earlier in the discourses. It is said, that you can alter, modify, and even undo your past through actions in the present. And therefore, you are the co-creators of your own destiny. But most of us don't do that. Most of us just flow with the push and pull of the past samskaras.
What if others disagree with you? Do you like that? No, you complain that they don't understand you. This is the nature of interplay between people. Such responses are particularly deceptive as they have become an unconscious part of your daily living.
About this interplay of people, Baba has said a very beautiful message that real happiness begins to come when a man learns the art of right adjustment to other people. And when I say man, when Baba says man, it includes women also. Otherwise, the women will say, oh, man has to only adjust to the women. When a man learns the art of right adjustment to other people, and right adjustment involves self-forgetfulness and love. And by self-forgetfulness, I would interpret not to have your own ego. We may disagree on issues, but most of us, you see any disagreement, only when we put our ego in the forefront, you don't have a solution. But when you relegate your ego and you are talking on issues, then you may disagree. But then at the end of it, you may agree to disagree and yet remain friends or yet remain, in the family. But most issues, most problems arise because we do not so-called argue or discuss on issues. We discuss on, I am the one who is saying it, therefore this should be done that way. And that is where all the problems. So one has to learn the art of right adjustment to other people. And once you learn that, then there will be a beautiful interplay of people.
But why do I do this? I inquired. Because your ego derives pleasure from being someone exceptional, someone superior to others.
So in other words, every issue is being looked into from a subjective point of view and not the objective point of view. What is the issue? How would Baba want us to handle that issue is not looked into, What is issue? I said it, so it must go like this. So here Baba says that you want to be somebody exceptional. You want to be that one-uppishness. We call it one-uppishness. I am superior to you. You just do what I tell you to do. That is where the problems arise.
You were right, I thought. You had exactly pinpointed the central weakness in my behavior. I could see how I masked my shortcomings in order to assert self-importance. Feeling embarrassed, I lowered my eyes to the ground. You knew that I needed further guidance and spoke again. Learn how to honor all the people you encounter and with whom you share your life, including those who generally take for granted. Including those you generally take for granted.
Correct.
As you live with a mindful spirit, you will feel my presence in those who take part directly or indirectly in each step of your day. Try to see me in them. This is the loving attitude that will lead you to a holistic health.
So here again, I remember Rakesh asking this question, mindful spirit. One has, in other words, Baba is again emphasizing on the alertness of the mind, of mindfulness. Somebody said concentration. Yes, you can give any word. In other words, do it. There is another, statement from Baba which says, do it as a spiritual being. Everything. Do it honing in all your aptitudes, attitudes, capabilities, and everything. Do it as if your very life depends on it. Do it as if it is the most important thing in your life. Do it for Baba or God and leave the results to Baba. So when we are in that frame of mind, we have cultivated that frame of mind to be very mindful, to be merely alert, to be very, you can say, Baba uses the word here, mindful spirit, then automatically we tend to respect the other person's feelings, the other person's point of view, the other person's opinion. And it may not agree with you, but we can always discuss and debate also on the issue. And not because I am big, I am greater, I am superior to you, therefore you have to do this. So in other words, here Baba says that learn how to honor, this is what the word is, honor all the people you encounter and with whom you share your life, whether it is business, whether it is home, whether it is your residential society, whether it is your office, wherever, to whomsoever you share your life, learn to honor the other person's point of view also, knowing full well that Baba is in them as well. Try to see me in them. Try to see me in them. This is the loving attitude that will lead you to holistic healing. I'm sorry, holistic health. My mistake, holistic health.
I appreciated the compassionate way you instructed me about my oversights without hurting my feelings. I confessed I should honor each person as a way of glorifying your presence in them. I'm sorry. I can see how I have been negligent and blind. I continually undervalue the many people who play important roles connected with my life. Radiating divine dignity, you revealed. In the past, you have had only an intellectual understanding of your existence. This has led you astray, but trust in me will guide you to see that I reside in all.
Intellectually, we all know that Baba is in everything, Baba is in everyone, and Baba is also above everyone and everything, intellectual. But once we have enthroned Baba in our hearts tightly, and once we have decided to cultivate this particular habit of seeing Baba in others as well, that is when Baba says that then you will actually feel my presence in not only your heart, but in others' heart. I reside in all. Okay, I'll read this. This has led you astray, but trust in me will guide you to see that I reside in all.
That is reassuring. But how can I get over this human dilemma of not feeling your presence in each person I meet? I asked. You have to be very watchful over yourself in everything you do.
Again, the word is watchful, mindful, alertness. Okay.
Witnessing dispassionately your actions and thoughts. Through this process, I will help you to respond in the ways that I wish. The deeper you dive into this flowing practice, the more you will feel my help in a variety of ways.
So here the words, beautiful combination of words, witnessing dispassionately. Dispassionately without passion. Passion not in the sense of love and all that. Dispassionately would mean without emotional bias. Most of us, whenever we view anything, we have a bias. In other words, in favor of or against somebody. Why? Because of our own past experience with that particular person. We do not see each issue as an independent, separate issue. We always see an issue or a person based on our past experience with that person. That means it draws along with us, the past garbage. That is why we become emotional, we become passionate, we become whatever, in favor of or against. So dispassionate witnessing would mean without any emotion, without any bias, without any prejudice. Just watch the instant as it is, without bringing from your subjective mind your own personal past experience about that particular issue or that particular person. A very, very, very powerful word, witnessing dispassionately.
There's a learn into it?
Of course, yeah, correct. Soumya says, but if there's, of course, you have to learn. Every moment is a moment of learning. We have to learn from it, but do not drag your past in order to take a decision in the present. The person may have changed overnight, you see, or the issue may have changed or altered overnight. In other words, what I understanding is that view or witness each aspect of life, each issue dispassionately, objectively. Yeah.
You have to be very watchful over yourself.
This is over. Huh?
Yeah. Will this be enough? Don't worry about
the future.
The future. You assured me. This.
Sorry, I think this.
Yeah.
Okay, please go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Witness dispassionately your actions and thoughts. Through this process, I will help you to respond in the ways that I wish. The deeper you dive into this flowing practice, the more you will feel my help in a variety of ways. Will this be enough? Don't worry about the future, you assured me. This mindful way of living will offer you inner strength to face yourself as you go through life. It will also be a good beginning in overcoming selfishness, which is the manifestation of the ingrained disease.
Selfishness, ego. Yeah.
I spoke aloud. Now I know why you call this malady my worst enemy, but is there any further remedy for it? Yes, to free yourself from enslavement to the five senses by offering all of your sensory experiences to me. But to do that, you must have firm faith in me. This faith could be referred to as a sixth sense that opens a new dimension in your life, in which the center of activity lies not in your individuality alone, but also in your attempts to please me.
So once again, here Baba is saying the same thing. Offer every experience that you have during the day, moment to me. So here, like I had said this earlier about Don Stevens' experience, I don't want to get into that right now. Means in other words, I am not the doer. Offer the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever you may have done, offer it to Baba. And here, beautifully, Baba, same thing Baba is saying, that will open up a new dimension in your life in which the center of activity, same thing, we call it an agent of action. The center of activity lies not in your individuality alone, but also in your attempts to please me. That means with every action that we do, it is not I who is doing it, it is Baba who is doing through me. Or here the alternative that is given is, how would my action please Baba? And in that context, we take that action and then offer the whole results to Baba. And it will develop what is known as the sixth sense.
Okay.
That means you will, sixth sense means you will intuitively know what action I want you to take in a particular situation. And when you take that and offer the whole situation to me, then you are saved. You are not bound by those situations.
This sixth sense will control and steer you through the misleading pleasures that distract you and make you a victim of the ingrained disease. You seemed satisfied that I had now caught at least a glimpse of the nature of my problem. I am deeply grateful to you, I said. I will try to do my best to fight this disease, but you know how I succumb to my weaknesses. So I sincerely request you to guide me in honoring you in others. You will have to help me peel back the numberless layers covering your real nature in me.
Baba's real nature is in us, but there are peels and peels and peels of garbage of I, my, me, and mine. So he's asking Baba to help to peel off all these layers so that finally I lead myself to your nature. That means your nature and my nature becomes the same.
I could not say anything more, so I gazed at you in mute supplication and adoration. Noticing my silence, you shared a little more. The mindfulness I described earlier will release the grip of your ego which is the disease itself. Although the disease has been diagnosed, it is still not easy to cure it and lead a life free of its influence. Your sincere efforts will summon my grace.
Very beautiful sentence. Your sincere efforts will summon my grace. That means from our part, Baba only expects us to try sincerely. And if we try 100% honestly and sincerely, his grace is sure to follow and come to us.
True.
Yeah.
To help you to be truly healthy. So, to feel that it is I who am living through you.
It is I who am living through you, which is a fact. It's a fact that it is in this whole divine Leela, it is Baba, who is the creator, who is living, having all the experiences through us. But unfortunately, erroneously, we think we are getting that experience and we get bound. The moment we think I am not the experiencer, it is he who is experiencing through us, we don't get bound. It's as easy as that, but found to be almost impossible.
You looked happy with gentle sweetness. You patted my shoulder and lovingly said, "You wished to speak with me. Haven't we conversed enough?" A shiver like lightning shot through my spine and I felt extremely blissful. With you, every moment becomes an eternity, or is it eternity that is compressed in every moment? It was hard to tell. I took your hand and stood to go. As I looked at you to say thank you, tears filled my eyes. What a love! I stepped backwards, still gazing at you. Understanding the ache of my separation, you waved goodbye to me and then looked away. I turned to go and after a few steps, glanced back. But now, as before, you seemed to be totally absorbed in your own being. I did not know which quality was more exquisite, your expression of deep intimacy with me or your perfect detachment. Not daring to disturb you anymore, I continued walking. Although my heart was overflowing with joy, my steps were heavy. As I walked along the lane, your words were reverberating through the trees. Your message of harmony between hand, head, and heart was ringing through my body. The simple, significant words shall always serve as a beacon, dispelling the various self-centered qualities that in the past have nourished an ingrained disease. This disease. O Awakener, may the gift of your remedy remind me of your luminous, lively presence in my life, conferring real health, harmony, devoid of strife.
So here in the chapter, Baba talks about the ingrained disease, which is the ego, false ego. And it is so ingrained that we don't even know that every single moment we are feeding that ego and making that ego more and more robust, more and more strong. The disease more and more robust and more strong. So what is expected out of us in a nutshell in this particular chapter is that every thought that we think, every feeling that we have, every word that we speak, every act that we do, ongoingly, we cultivate a practice of offering it to Baba. In other words, we have to make an effort. Initially, it requires effort. Afterwards, it becomes automatic. The effort is that the moment we get up in the morning, as Baba has said elsewhere in one of the Savas, is just for a moment, think of Baba. Think that Baba, whatever I will think, speak, and do today, it will be you who will be doing it through me, sincerely and honestly. And then go about your work, constantly remembering him as often as we can in the midst of our daily activities. And at the end of the day, of course, Baba has said that 12 noon and 5 in the evening, remember me just for a moment. And then at the end of the day, before we go to sleep, internally, just for a minute or two, say that Baba, whatever I have thought, spoken, and done, I am offering it to you. It is yours. You have done it through me. It has nothing to do with me. Be off all kinds of attachment. Be off whatever the day may have brought. It may be something good tidings, as we say, or it could be a quarrel or a fight or some misunderstanding. Whatever it may be, Baba, I am offering it to you, and off with it. This is what I understand. Sorry?
Think of things that are not hesitate to think in your presence. Do I?
Yeah, okay. So Baba, Soumya is wanting me to say that another message which again emphasizes on Baba's constant presence in our life. And the message is, think of things you will not hesitate to think in my presence. Speak words you will not hesitate to speak in my presence. And do X you will not hesitate to do in my presence. So when we have these three couplets, it's basically we are constantly surrounded by Baba's remembrance, by Baba's presence, and that will guide us through the day and through our life, basically. So here we end this chapter. If there are any questions or any sharing, we can do it. We are still not at 15. What time? I think about 11. We are still 4 minutes to 6:15. And as I said in the beginning, Rakesh Acharya will, after we finish in 2-3 minutes, if there are any questions or sharing, I'll take that. He will put on the live streaming of Baba's Dhuni. We all know that on the 12th of every month, Dhuni at Mehrabad is being lit. And the whole idea is, the aim of that Dhuni is to offer attachment.
Mandate to do it.
Why don't you? Yeah. Okay, Soumya says in response to Baba's mandate, yes, Baba had ordered that on every 12th of the month, the Dhuni is to be lit at Mehrabad. Elsewhere also it is being lit, but no comments on that. So the whole idea is to remember Baba. Any action we do, any activity that we do, if the idea is to remember Baba lovingly, it is a worthwhile activity that we are doing. If the idea is to organize certain things just for the sake of organizing it, then as Adi Kaka said, it is like putting the cart before the horse. Adi Kaka had said that, Adi K. Irani. So in Dhuni, what you do symbolically, you throw a twig or a wood and you just decide to give up one of your attachments or some kind of weaknesses and then work on it, right?
Anybody they are going to light it now. Can we do it live?
Please go ahead. Okay, then from our side, Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Jai Baba. Thank you, Rakesh, for being so attentive. Thank you. Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Hey, what happened? Looks like it's frozen.
Yeah, I was asking the same question to Rakesh.
It just hung up. It just hung up.
It's hung. It's hung.
It's not working. Is it working?
The audio is working, but video is still frozen.
They're not moving.
Video didn't start?
Oh,
It started, but it froze.
okay. Okay.
It's working now.
Now it started.
You can see it now? Video?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Rakesh.
Yeah, we can see it.
Rakesh, audio not coming.
Is it working?
No, it is not. It's frozen. The video is frozen. Yeah, it's moving again.
There's no sound.
I think now it's working, no? Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai Baba, everybody. Can I put the meeting off?
Jai Baba.
You all want to continue seeing this live or can I put it off? Jai Baba, I'm putting this off.